drive into Kingston, where we had to go through the Rockfort Tunnel because there was no road around the fort. And the purpose of the fort was interesting. It was one of the major British installations to protect Kingston Harbour and the Allegheny Plain. And the reason was very simple. If the French or the Spanish wished to take back Jamaica, the only way to really do it was to be able to take control of the harbour. So every valley coming into the Allegheny Plain had a fort. And if you landed along the south coast, the only way to get past into Kingston and Kingston Harbour was along the coast, and you had to go through Rockfort. And if you look at Rockfort today, the guns still point, most of the guns still point along the coast to the east, because it wasn't a question of protecting it from those who came into the harbour, it was protecting those who were trying to get to the harbour. So it's a very interesting situation. The same thing exists in the valleys above Kingston, and of course the 4 forts that the English built at the mouth of Kingston Harbour. There were 4 forts that were built before 1692. The only one that exists today is Fort Charles. The 3 forts now, I'm afraid, have dropped out of my memory, the names, but they all went down vertically. So if you're looking at the fort in the lagoon, you will be able to see it almost intact in a sense, because it didn't get knocked about. It went down. And that was because of the liquefaction of the of the land that was impacted by the earthquake. The land liquefies, and then the weight and the fort and the buildings went down. As opposed to, if it's shaking, it pushed them over. So that's part of what took place at the earthquake of 1692. Now, that was because, as we discussed, all of the Palisadoes and Port Royal land in particular, the all 50-odd acres of Port Royal, were all based to a large extent on accumulation of silt from either along the coast or from the Rio Cobre.